Machinery is the piece of equipment every farmer needs when they start doing the farming, as well as the whole throughout process. Since the manual effort is more on farming, we need to rely on some farming equipment which help us to do the job easy and better. So hi, this is your farmer Karuna, trying to be a sustainable farmer. Today we are gonna look into some of the farming equipments, as well as what are the farming equipment I have chose to run the farm, and some of the most important attachments what I come up with. Today mainly I want to talk about plowing machines. So when I moved into the property, the land was really good. They had a small piece of things fenced, and then they've been doing the vegetables and some of the fruits growing in that area, but that is very small for me. I was thinking little bigger to start with doing the farming. And then the other part of the land, they've been having the pigs, so that digged some of the holes and then dipped in there. So those are the challenges when I started thinking of, okay, let's do the farming, let's grow some vegetables. Since we moved into the farm, it's been a couple of months or so. Then the first questions came to my head is, okay, so we have to go to start the farming. First thing is we have to plow the land, because the small portion which they divided, that one actually they just made the drip irrigation. They put the small beds. They were really good, and the only problem is I saw the weed is everywhere, so it is not easy to maintain that particular fenced piece. So I decided to make a little bit bigger, the size I want. And then since I looked into that, it is going to be really challenging, so I have to find some equipment which help me to plow the land. So first thing what I did was I try to find the equipments in Facebook Marketplace, and then try to see some tiller would help me to do the trick. And once I do that, I visited a small farmer which had the tiller. When I saw in the Facebook post, I saw it's really a bigger one, so I thought I can be able to buy that, and it's going to be really helpful for me. When I visited the farmer, he showed me that tiller. It was really small. That won't actually help me to plow the land what I have. It is really weedy land, and it's not been farmed, never I would say. And the roots are really strong and strengthened, and then the land is really hard. So that small tiller won't help. And then decided to do some research. I finally, okay, let's move on to the bigger tiller. What are the tillers are available? So I come up with a couple of things, which is Troy built the maximum capacity tiller, I think 306cc engine, and then it has a good size of I think 30-inch I believe. So I thought, I did some research, I think that I felt like it's good. And then when I was looking into that, there is another one, Honda, which is a really famous one, bit costly. It has I think 360cc or something. That also it's a 30-inch tiller. Okay, and when I was trying to make the call to the dealership, I tried I think few 3 or 4 I would say dealers. They said they don't have stock available because it is a pandemic time, so nobody has the stock. And so finally one guy replied from nearby dealership. He has the one model less than what I was looking for. So he said, I can keep it for you. And then I visited there. I thought I'm gonna take that tiller. When I went there, I felt like that is also really small. So that is the disappointment for me. And then I decided, okay, the tiller is not the right equipment for my farming. So, and there are other constraints also came up when I was doing the research. The land is not that flat, as well as the other side of the land they had a pig in there, so there is some dip in here and there, and that won't help, to start right away. So we have to level little bit so that the slopes go away, and we could able to have the proper drainage system. Otherwise it will flood the crops if we have a heavy rain. So and then when I started thinking all these things, okay, maybe I had to go to the walking tiller, the next step up for the tiller. So the walking tractor, it's pretty much good actually. I looked into the only one, it's a BCS. It is wonderful. They had varieties of attachments. It looks beautiful. It do all kind of jobs for the small market gardener. I felt like that is the right equipment. I'm gonna buy that. And when I was calculating the price, the main engine itself, it came around 12,000. So the main engine, there is no attachments, you cannot do anything, so you have to have the attachments to use that engine. So the mower or maybe a tiller or a harrow, all of them minimum starts with 1,500, some of them going even 4,000. So when I was calculating, I end up with almost 20,000 CAD for the walking tractor. And then I felt like, oh, this is a bit pricey for me. And when I was looking into that, I checked the tractor price. The tractor price was starting with 16,000 and some of them 15,000. So it's a compact tractor. When I was comparing that, there is only maybe 3,000-4,000 price difference between a walking tractor and then pure a compact tractor. So I decided to go with a compact tractor. When I was looking that, the crazy part here is you have so many brands. It is very hard to compare and find out what is the right equipment for you, or maybe what is the good tractor. So I ended up researching Kubota, John Deere, and Bobcat, Coyote, Mahindra, all of them. So totally I think 5. I visited I think 4 showrooms, Kubota and then Coyote and John Deere as well as Bobcat. I couldn't find a nearby showroom for Mahindra, so okay, so this is all I got. And then when I was started getting the quotes from each tractor, what they are doing is they keep the price of the tractor little less. Some companies, some of them they're keeping it for 16,000, some of them keeping it for 15,000. But when you go for the attachments, because you cannot use the tractor alone, right? So you need to have the attachments. So when that comes in, so there is the price playing. So some of them tiller price is 3,000, some of them 3,700, some of them. So they have played with the price. So when I was end up with, okay, so I need a tractor, I need a tiller, I need a front loader so that I can able to level the land. So those are the minimum things. When I was calculating, it's coming around almost same price, all the different brands. So then only I came to know, okay, they're just pricing it so that you could be able to, make the decision based on the tractor price. It's not actually. So you have to have the attachments in the calculation so that you could be able to make the right decision. So finally I decided to buy the compact tractor. So this itself, it took me almost 7 to 8 months. One funny part is when I went back to the same showroom after 4-5 months, they said the price got changed. So they increased the price almost $800. So that is crazy. So I don't have other options. So finally I decided to buy a tractor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show all my research and why I went to the tractor, because here is the list of tractor or a tiller which I considered initially one by one. And the first one, my option is a big red garden tiller. This was one of the tiller which is really good size. This one has a 306cc engine, and it's a really good piece of equipment. But when I was comparing with the other tractor, this may be a small one, but still it's a good size for beginner level farming, and the price or it's approximately 4,000 CAD, and it has all the feature, but we could use it for only plowing purpose. The other equivalent or maybe a better than this I have compared with is a rear time tiller. It's a 20-inch ERS or a 20-inch Pro. So I ordered this one, but the availability I got for only rear time. So what did I do is visited the dealership. When I looked into that, it is very small for my use case, and then I decided to drop out of the plan for a tiller. So next step up, I decided to go with a walk-in tractor, that is a BCS, which has a different models of engine based on the size and then capacity. So I decided to go with a really a top trim model so that I can have all the feature I could use it. That is it's I think 14.5 HP or something. So that is at the end of the list. That cost almost 13,000 bucks. So it's a 16 HP twin cylinder engine. It has a hydrostatic, all these things, and then you have able to attach all different sort of attachments available. And there are other tractors which comes close to 6 or 7,000 CAD, but it is a good option. If I don't have the reason for leveling the land, then I should have went with this. The only drawback for my use case, I had to have something to level the land. Otherwise, this is the kind of a right piece of equipment. I would have started with a very small model, which is comes 5,000, and then I could able to find the right attachment for that particular model. I might be started using that. This is the wonderful equipment for whoever is having a beginner level, minimum size, maybe less than an acre of land. This is the kind of perfect equipment, and it has lots of attachments. Rear time tiller, this is as a different size, so you could go maximum of 30-inch, and then precision depth roller. Whoever is doing the market garden, this one is one of the handy tool. You could able to make the bed perfectly looking fine, and then the seeder will easily sow the seeds with the precisions. And then here there is a rotary plow, which is good for like first time you have really a BD land. You want to get into the state where you don't need to do plowing or maybe a permanent bed kind of concept. This is the kind of right option to start with. You could plow one time, maybe this one I feel like 4 to 5 inch depth. It just flip the soil, all the weeds, all the roots will break down, and it will be get good shape. And then spreader, I'm not sure, my use case it's not that required. And there are other so rotary plow, swiggle. This one, it is one of the good equipment for the market gardener who want to prepare the bed. This one make your life really easy. So you can just prepare the bed in a day, hundreds of beds. You just walk behind that, and then things are really easy. As well as the attaching all this equipment, I did some research. It is really easy. You just drive in and then quick attach most of the stuff. And the next one is a plastic mulch layer. So this one, whenever you do your winter crops or maybe your land is really weedy, you want to have a plastic cover on top of it. Doing by hand, it is really hard. And this one, it helps you to put the plastic mulch layer very easy. This is one of the handy tool. I love that. Yeah, that is a pretty much the attachments part of it. It has almost like all kind of attachments, but my recommend I was considering this when I was put the budget, uh, adding the with the machine, it goes beyond my budget. So I decided this is not maybe the ideal option for me, as well as may need to find a uh, rent a tractor to level the land. I'm not sure how much time will it take, so I decided to drop this BCS plan, and then I moved on to researching some of the other options, compact tractor. So if you see this one, list of BCS attachments, wow, it's so beautiful. You have all kind of things and then easily manageable, and then it's good, it's looking beautiful as well. So then the next thing is a compact tractor. So when I started looking into each brand, the Kubota is showed up in multiple places, and then rating was really good. And these are the compact size things. And then if you want to backhoe, this might be the options. So I was between the BX 1880 or 2380. So this is maybe the right options for me. But when I checked with the salespersons, I didn't do much research. What are the attachments this one will hold? But the salesperson said this won't help you to do the tilling or other things. But I'm not sure. Still, I feel as there is a PTO soft for 13.7 HP. Still, I feel like you could be able to attach the tiller, as well as I could be able to see this hydraulic system. You could add the front loader as well, but I'm not sure why he did that. So he suggested 23 or 26. So I don't want to go more power. This one cost me another $1,000 or $2,000. So I end up with going Kubota 2380 BX. This one looks beautiful. And then the other comparisons, what I did was Bobcat. Bobcat has quite a few on this list. So when I was going through that, the look wise, I was not convinced somehow. But the other features are really good on this tractor as well. The showroom or the dealership is not close by for me, so that was the another reason I was a bit hesitant to go with the Bobcat. Another is a Coyote. Coyote, I have the showroom nearby or a dealership. I went there, I did even test drive, and then it looks pretty much close to the Kubota one. Everything is good. The price for a front loader was a bit costly, and then all the attachments comparing with other brand, Coyote has a kind of bit pricey. So then I decided, okay, maybe I have to rethink it. And then the Coyote brand is not that familiar to me as well. And then the second options for me was John Deere. So it has two beautiful machines, and then one is a 21 and then 23 HP. I feel like the 21 would be the good options for me. I went to the dealership, and then I did talk to them and then try to do the research. This was one of the competitive things with the Kubota when I was thinking of comparing. This was my final two of them. I decided to compare. And then the last one is a Mahindra. This also comes to the same price range, but I could not able to find any showroom nearby, and then decided to drop first round of screening itself, the Mahindra one. So I end up with comparing a BX 2080 and then this 123E. It's pretty much same spec, and then price also coming close to that. But the good is John Deere dealership, they actually are ready to give some discount price, and they were friendly, and it was a good deal. I was about to take the uh, John Deere, but before going to that, I visited third time to the Kubota, and then they were actually not good at sales people. It was more kind of arguing kind of thing happened. But finally, somehow, I convinced myself. I decided to go with this tractor with a couple of major attachments, front loader, and then tiller, and then finally I have added the lawnmower before I was planning to take place the order. So after running through a few time of lawn mowing, it was really hard. So initial thought is when I was planning to buy the walk-in tractor, I was putting all these things as well as the lawnmower tractor that comes almost close to 2,500 or something. So it was comparatively going more than price. So that was the main reason I came back to the compact tractor. And then this one worked out well for me, but it's pricey. It's reached finally close to 28,000 or even 29 with the final bush cutter attachment. But I was happy. It did help me to set up the whole farm. I used really well, and keeping things more clean. This one helped me a lot. That is pretty much I want to share here. These are the comparison. I did a more deep research. I think this one, it's kind of overall, how did I end up with buying a Kubota BX 2380? tractor, because the tiller you can use it only for till the land, but if you want to do some additional work, the tiller won't help you. Only you can plow the land. Other than that, nothing. So they cannot able to switch the attachments, you cannot able to do anything. It's gonna sit after the plowing. So the walking tractor has the real good advantage. It has a number of attachments, so many of them. I was actually impressed with the array of attachments what they had, and it's really good for the market gardener. The price is reasonable. When you started buying the attachments, the price goes really equivalent to or close to the tractor price. Otherwise, the walk-in tractor is one of the best tool. They have all the attachments. You can just plug and play with it. You can do all your job. And then the tractor is additional things. You could use it for level the land, or I have a bigger lawn, I can use it for the belly lawn mower, which it helped me to mow that in 10 to 15 minutes. Before I was using that walk-in lawn mower, that it takes at least 1 hour, even more than that. So this and all things I have considered. I have bought the tractor finally with a few attachments. The first one I need it for a tiller. The second one, it's a front loader so that I can do the leveling. And then the third one is the lawn mower. And the fourth one is it's accidental, but I ended up with buying that. There was one used piece of attachment sitting in the dealership. And when I visited there, I was talking to the salesperson. He said I was having a really weed to my shoulder level. It is very hard to cut that down with a weed whacker or some other rented equipment I tried, but didn't work anything because it is a crazy dense. So he suggested I have one used bush cutter. You can take that for $800, and we have replaced the blade, so it's a newer blade, but the other things are old, but still it helps you to do all your things. So I felt like he's cheated because the bush cutter is really big. My tractor is a BX23, and then when I attach that, it looks really heavy on that particular tractor. So but it did work really well. I could able to clean up the whole land, and it was a pretty good experience, and then everything went really good. Even choosing the tractor itself, the compact tractor, there are a few models. You have to find the right one. I will just show you in the website and how did I compare and how did I choose my equipment which is fit for my requirement. So I think that is pretty much I want to cover in this video. Having a many toys around you, it feels great, make things easy, but it's so expensive. So I always keep that in the mind to try to limit myself what is necessary and what exactly I want to do. So if you know those two things, you could able to at least save some money on that. Yeah, that is pretty much. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.